Because what got him was, when you read the scriptures, Jeroboam took out 2 of those calves from Egypt. He took out 2 of them.
Right.
And when they saw them calves, that's when they followed Jeroboam. That was the thing that got him.
Right. They were doing it in secret. He brought it out in the open.
That's right. That's right.
For the children of Israel walked in the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants.
Out of his sight means out of the land of Israel. Go ahead.
So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Assyria unto this day. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Kutha, and from Ava.
Kutha, Babylon, Cush. Those are Cushites. Go ahead.
And from Hamath.
Go ahead.
And from Sepharvaim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel.
Right.
And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It says, and so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there, that they feared not the Lord. Therefore,
what does it mean to fear not the Lord? First of all, you got to know his name, and then you got to know his laws, statutes, and commandments. And they were doing their heathenistic stuff that they were doing. Now, what happened when they went over there living in that holy land? Go ahead.
Therefore, the Lord sent lions among them, which slew some of them. It says, wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the God of the land. Therefore he hath sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them.
That's why you got them people over there in Israel today. They all know that Hebrew, and they all call themselves praying and reading out of the Torah. Because the Most High jack you up if you in that land not doing the right thing. And they are doing the wrong thing over there too.
Right.
Like you got, where's that, Pink City?
Right.
Tel Aviv.
Right.
You know they got gay parades. The biggest gay parade on this planet is over there in Tel Aviv, man.
Yeah, I know. I don't know about the biggest one or whatever.
Yeah, but that's one of the...
I'm sure Germany is the biggest one.
Well, but it's one of the biggest, you know?
Big enough.
Go ahead.
Because
it's big enough for the Most High to destroy it, right? Go ahead.
Because they know not the manner of the God of the land. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom ye brought from death.
One of the priests, which was a Levite, a Levitical priest.
Well, even the land of Israel is not blessed. To this day, it's not blessed.
Yeah, they have the kibbutz, kibbutz, where they got to bring in trees and stuff like that. Go ahead.
And let them.
What do you mean it's not blessed because of the kibbutz? I don't understand that.
No.
You got to ship trees in there. In other words, at one time, the land of Israel was flourishing, man.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna give you an example. The Garden of Eden, that was Israel.
Right.
When Adam, go back to Adam and Eve.
Right.
That was Israel right there.
Right.
Because when you read about it, there was 4 rivers or 4 bodies of waters that can pass that, and anywhere on the planet Earth, those 4 bodies of water can pass Jerusalem today.
Right.
The Red Sea, the Nile, that's the second one. The Euphrates and the Tigris.
Right.
All right. Because in Genesis it tell you that there was 4 great bodies of water that can pass the Garden of Eden. So that's how we know that that's Jerusalem.
But now you're making Israel all the way to Iraq because
it's between that land.
Tigris.
No. It's between that land. If you go to a map, you'll see it. You'll see it. It's right in between. Right. It's right in smack dab in the middle of those 4 rivers. You know.
Right. Yeah, the point we're making, the people that's over there in Israel, if they were the real people of the Bible, that land would be flourish. Would flourish.
Yeah, basically you got Gentiles over there, right. And it's not just so-called white people. You got Chinese people over there. You got Arabs over there. You got Africans over there.
Right.
Hamites.
Heathens.
You got the Roman Catholic Church over there.
Right.
Just check out the mass over there in Vatican City. They'll go to Jerusalem, and they got mass over there. Then they got the Greek Orthodox Church down there.
Churches in Jerusalem. They have different churches.
But are they Israelites? Are they Jews?
No, they don't pretend to be
so,
Jews.
Okay, so why are they there? Who's supposed to be there? Well, ain't the real Jews supposed to be there?
You're saying they should kick them out?
Of course. Because that's not your land. That's not your land. You know?
You had something called
and that's how we know that's how we know. That's how we...
You know the United Nations wouldn't like that.
Well, the United Nations said, first of all, the United Nations is set up in the Bible anyway.
Right.
That's part of the beast.
That's a seed.
You got NATO, you got the EU.
See if we agree on something.
Okay, good. Well, you know about the. Well, you know that's in the Book of Revelation.
No, I didn't know that. Okay, I don't read the New Testament. I never read the New Testament. So
because
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, Carry thither one of the priests whom ye brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner of the God of the land.
Yeah, because who was saying this, man? I don't know if it's the Benjamites and Rastas that they sent up Levites and they mixed their seed. That's where they got that whole thing with Makeda. That Solomon had sex and all that, and they were saying that they said a whole bunch of Levites. Some group said that a whole bunch of Levites went over there and they had sex with the children. The scripture said one.
Yeah, right.
And his mission was to teach them the laws, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
Go ahead.
Then one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how they should fear the Lord. Howbeit every nation made gods of their own, and put them in the houses of the high places which the Samaritans had made, every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt. And the men of Babylon made Succoth Benoth, and the men of Cuth made Nergal, and the men of Hamath made Ashima.
Yeah, because they were following other gods. That's why the Most High was sending lions on them. Then when they started keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, the Most High pulled them lions back.
Who's
all right?
the Most High? I'm sorry.
The Most High.
Most High. I'm sorry, I got you.
God, you know? Go ahead.
And the Abites made Nehas and Tartak, and the Sepharvites burnt their children in the fire to Adremelech.
Right, because they were burning their children. Them are heathens, man.
Right.
They burn their children. They didn't pass them through the fire to Molech, to these different gods.
Right.
All right.
They still, to this day, those people over there in Israel, they're doing things that are likened unto that. It's the same thing, the same deal.
And Anemelech, the gods of the Sepharvaim. So they feared the Lord and made unto themselves of the lowest of them. And so they feared the Lord and made unto themselves of the lowest of them priests of the high places, which sacrificed for them in the houses of the high places. They feared the Lord and served their own gods after the manner of the nations whom they carried away from thence. Unto this day they do after the former manners. They fear not the Lord, neither do they after their statutes, or after their ordinances, or after the law and commandment which the Lord commanded the children of Jacob, whom he named Israel, with whom the Lord had made a covenant and charged them, saying, You shall not fear other gods, nor bow yourself to them.
And that's what they were doing, man. Now let's go to this scripture right here.
Zechariah 12:1. The burden of the word.
See, this is how this is what proves that them people over there in the land of Israel don't belong there. They're not the people of the Lord.
Right.
But they're trying to put themselves into prophecy.
Right.
Prophecy is going to be fulfilled when we go back.
Right.
When the blacks in this country, the so-called Negroes, West Indian, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Dominicans, Mexicans. Go ahead.
Zechariah 12:1. The burden of the word of the Lord for Israel, saith the Lord, which stretcheth forth the heavens, and layeth the foundation of the earth, and formeth the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling.
And that's what's happening right now, man.
Right.
Who keeps that country up, the land of Israel up? The United States, the UN.
And Germany.
They send them what, 10 billion?
I wouldn't say the United Nations. The United Nations is trying to destroy it.
Through
Because the United Nations is dominated by Cuba type of people and by the Muslims now.
Yeah, but if that was the case, they would have been destroyed Israel, man.
Right.
All right?
The United Nations is trying to do anything they can against Israel. And against the West.
First of all, United Nations is a group of all the nations on the planet Earth.
Right.
If they as a group wanted to destroy Israel, Israel would have been destroyed, right?
Well, they don't have military power, but I'm talking about legalistically, and if you read what's going on, what they're trying to do, they're trying to
What do you mean they don't have military power? What do you think UN troops are?
UN troops are jerk-offs.
Yeah, but you know what? You know why UN troops? You got US troops that go fight for the UN, and they wear the blue.
Right.
The same thing with African troops, all right? So they're all tied together.
Right. They just walk around and stand there like idiots.
Well, because I guess they told them that. If they wanted, who rapes children?
The UN troops.
Okay, well you're right on that. You're right on that. But you know what? They're all tied into NATO and the EU. They're just doing what the Most High wants them to do.
Right.
All right. Now, when the U.S. attacked what was that, Iraq?